Hey guys, welcome back to Tactical Ashigarami TV. I hope you guys are feeling pretty good, and I also hope that you guys who have been watching the Art of CQB series, that you enjoyed the production overall, and more than likely we'll see where we go with that into the future. But today we're going to be looking at helping and teaching new players in Airsoft. So we decided to pretty much double it up with the videos this weekend. And today, mainly what we're going to talk about is, introducing new players into the sport. So basically, this video was taken around the same day. I think it was the same day that I played with that guy in the Art of CQB Part 3 video, and I felt really bad about destroying him all day. And I did see some comments referencing to that. It was a little bit rough, but anyway, the girl who was with him, I'm not sure if that was a friend or his actual girlfriend, but she did literally witness the whole thing on video. I think the Breakpoint does have video inside. You can see the footage and what's taking place. Anyway, to make a long story short, what I decided to do was pretty much give a little breakdown on how my Mark 18 works, and pretty much how most M4 rifles work. And luckily the TM system pretty much for the most part is very easy and very intuitive to understand, so I was able to pretty much break it down in the simplest way possible, and she really did enjoy it. And what else did I have on me that day? The Glock Gen 5, the Gen 5 17. We decided to shoot a couple of rounds of that for a little bit, and to pretty much go into just having fun. Honestly, I think that the best aspect of Airsoft for new shooters is to pretty much get just the comfort and the overall just making it more familiar for them to kind of operate what a firearm would kind of sort of feel like, with without a sense of really going into what actual recoil is and everything like that, because you're never gonna get that from actual Airsoft. But it is pretty cool to kind of go and to pick something up and to just kind of feel what it is like for the first time. I remember the first time that I picked up an M4, it was really I wouldn't say intimidating. Even though it was Airsoft, I didn't know much about the controls or how anything really worked until I got the breakdown. Being that it is gas blowback, it does operate the exact same way for the most part that an actual rifle would, in terms of safety controls, fire selector and whatnot, mag release, charging handle. And you see me going through these little tidbits with her, and even though that she's she speaks Japanese, and me being American and being a native English speaker, I tried my best to break it down in the best way I possibly could, so that way she can kind of understand what's going on. Even though one of my magazines, I think, was a little bit too cold, and it did have a failure. And then also she did make a mistake. She double charged the the M4 by accident, and it's just completely cool, man. It's honest, you know what I mean, because she really doesn't know what to do in that sense, and you're just kind of really breaking it down. And I think that honestly, that's one of the most important things you can do in the sport. It's like, for the most part, from the outside looking in, a lot of people assume that you have to be really good in order to play and to enjoy it. And I think a lot of the times what it really comes down to is really, finding that right environment and that game that you can enjoy, and doing what works for you, per se. The whole idea of shooting, for the most part, is really fun. She did enjoy it, and she kept on saying Tanashi, like she was really having fun and getting into it. And I'm kind of showing her how to use, like, you know, her sights and using the lining up the dot and everything like that. So it was a really, really fun experience, and I did feel really bad about you know, shooting her friend or boyfriend all day in the face. So it's a nice little change of pace to go into, you know, breaking down how that system works, and also getting in a couple of rounds of myself with the Glock 17 Gen 4. So for those of you guys that are new players, and you can feel free to sound off in the comment section, what was one of your favorite first experiences when it came to Airsoft? What was the first thing that got you drawn to Airsoft? Or what got you into it in the first place? What made you want to, you know, go into the sport? For me, I remember the way I kind of found this thing out was pretty much by accident. I walked into a toy store, I think it was several years ago, around the same time I came for jiu-jitsu competition, and I walked into, I think it was the 3rd or 4th floor of this store called Super Kids Land in Nagoya, in Osakanon. So I go up there and I'm like, I'm seeing all these revolvers and Desert Eagles, and I'm like, whoa, like, did I walk into like some kind of super secret arms dealership facility or something, or what, man? And it was really trippy. But it wasn't until that time I realized, and I was like, whoa, maybe they're not real. And then I had a friend contact me and tell me about this field out in Mie Prefecture where they did an outdoor game. And he said, yeah, man, all those that stuff you saw up in that level up there that one time, those are all air guns. And I'm like, really? I said, wow, like, that's pretty amazing, because almost everything that was on that floor looked entirely real. And then from that moment, I said, you know what, the next time I came out to Japan, I was just going to try it out and see what the experience is going to be for myself. And then I think it was the first year that I was working as an ALT, I got break, went to Nagoya, got my first electric AEP, and played my first game, I think maybe several weeks after that, when I went back to the store and picked up my first 3 gas blowbacks, which I distinctly remember were Glock 18 C Marui, Desert Eagle hard kick, the black Tokyo Marui pistol, not the chrome one, but the black one, and also the high Kappa government. And ever since I played my first game, I was hooked. Like, it was like the first time I ever ripped an armbar in jiu-jitsu or something like that. I just never stopped. But anyway, I think going back to the situation, I think one of the best things you can do is provide those really nice, awesome, unforgettable experiences for people that are new, and for people that might be intimidated by just how the whole presentation looks in general, being that most of what they do see does look very real and operates the same way. And there are some concepts and some aspects that do translate to what is actually probably going to happen in real life in some cases, but obviously without the same consequences. So the main thing for them is to be able to pretty much explore that from a safe spectrum where they can enjoy it at their own pace. And that's what I was trying to pretty much provide here in this time. So I just really wanted to take the time out to really just kind of point that out, that sometimes even for guys that are advanced players, we get so caught up in, you know, just all the advanced stuff, the tactics, the, you know, the know-how, the parts, the modifications and whatnot. And sometimes it does take away from having that beginner mindset, you know, of just remembering what got you into the sport into the first place and what made it fun. And how can you reciprocate that? How can you allow someone to feel that same way you did whenever you had that first experience? And that's the key right there in itself. If you can master that, then you can definitely, you know, bring more people in, or possibly within the future assemble a team for yourself if that's something that you are looking towards. I think that's pretty cool. So for the most part, I was really happy, you know, overall to really get that little experience and being able to just kind of show, you know, that it's not always about skill, but it's about fun and how you make someone feel in that moment. And she enjoyed herself to the max, basically. She told me about how much fun, you know, she had. And a lot of the times when we go to these airsoft events, even in those days where you get destroyed, and those days, you know, like they happen sometimes, not far and few in between, you wind up making, you know, friends, you know, especially in Japanese airsoft here, survival game, that you mainly have those friends here for a lifetime, because, you know, people who tend to share hobbies, they tend to maintain those kind of friendships, and that pretty much stays throughout the time period that you're going to be here and beyond. So let's keep that in mind. So anyway, once again, sound off in the comment section. What was you know, your first airsoft experience like as a beginner? What made you, what got you onto the sport? And how do you go about helping people in airsoft that are brand new? How would you introduce the sport to someone? In which way? Or how would you provide a hands-on experience to someone who's brand new and is just looking to get into, you know, understanding what shooting really is about? One of the interesting things that I realized from just this whole experience, especially when I was having her shoot the Mark 18, the gas blowback, is it was a lot easier for her to use the rifle with those 3 points of contact versus the pistol. And when she shot the pistol, it was a little bit more difficult, which you might see maybe now or towards the tail end of the video. It was a little bit more difficult for her to shoot the pistol. So a lot of people do comment about that it's a little bit more harder to use, naturally, because it's a more difficult platform. There's less points of contact. Anyway, once again, thank you guys so much for watching this little this little tidbit here, just to give you guys another concept to think about, introducing new people into the sport, helping and teaching new players. How do you go about doing it? Don't forget to sound off. Also, thank you guys for supporting the Artist CQB project so far, and for all the other content you guys watch on my channel. I'm always grateful, and you know, what can I say, man? It's been an awesome ride, and the channel is growing. So guys, don't forget, keep liking, keep commenting, keep sharing, and subscribing, and all that good jazz. This is Taka Shigarami TV. You guys know how to find me. You know what's going on. You know what we do. We got some more content coming up, some more gameplay video coming up. So stay tuned for that. Take it easy, stay safe, and peace out, y'all. You're the best. Bow.